Welcome to the Sports Betting Podcast, where three friends attempt to profit off of one man's uncanny ability to pick losers. Operation Fade Jerry starts now.
Let's make some money.
We are here at Operation Fade Jerry for your gambling pleasure.
Week 13.
Week 13. Woo! Very nice. Hello, Jer. How are you?
I'm well. Looking forward to a big turkey day tomorrow. Gonna watch some football and make some bets and have a good time. Eat some turkey.
That sounds like a wonderful day to me.
Yes, sir.
Peter, how are you?
Good. Fantastic. Been on fire with picks. Feeling very confident.
Let's talk about that a little
You've
bit.
been
Jerry.
actively fading.
Yeah, well, Jerry, a very strong 3-3 week last week.
That's
two times in a row with 3-3.
That's right.
To what do you credit this this sudden turnaround to?
Well, I have admitted my shortcomings and realized that there really wasn't a Mandela effect. That what I have accepted is I'm a victim of something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Okay, so this was the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias that describes the systematic tendency of people with low ability in a specific area to give overly positive assessments of this ability. And it's funny, the guy that caused the Dunning-Kruger effect to be discovered by Dunning and Kruger was a guy robbing a bank in Pittsburgh. And he was convinced he had discovered invisible ink, where if you dip your pen in lemon water, then the lemon juice, you can write with it and the ink disappears. So he smeared lemon juice all over his face and he walked in and robbed the bank because he thought the cameras wouldn't pick him up.
So I'm trying to take notes on this, but it just sounds like one word: delusional.
He was totally convinced. These guys.
Was this guy's name Jerry Bennett by any chance?
It was not me. It was not me. It was someone. But
that was very confusing just for someone that has false hope.
Yeah. No, I am clearly deluded about my ability to gamble on sports. So there we go.
No, stay confident. We need you.
I'm not.
I don't think that's the case at all.
Not confident at all.
You've got a very steady and high win limit for other people.
But do you know how much this costs me?
Yeah, but Jerry, you're on a hot streak right now. 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 3-3, 3-3. Guess what?
Yeah.
It's possible you could be 4-2 this weekend.
Pete, you
Hope
made.
springs eternal, Jerry.
Wait. I want to illustrate something here that Pete made about 10 times the money that I lost last
Imaginary Monopoly money.
No, this is real money. And he did it by fading me on about half of those bets. So I'm entitled.
And he thanks you for it.
I'm entitled to part of that stake.
Very appreciative.
Yeah. You're
well, Jerry did go 3-3. I had my second straight week of 4-2, which is, right where I like to be. It's my comfort zone. I feel some confidence brewing or bubbling up to my surface internally that I can right the ship. So I think I'm back. But last week's big winner was one Peter Rondoni with a 5-1 performance.
Woo!
Pete, please. What did you? And by the way, only faded Jerry in 2 of those games and was 1-1 in those 2 games.
In the fades, yep.
So Pete was doing something well last week. Pete,
but
please inform us.
I must intervene.
Go
Pete
ahead.
does fade Jerry, the statistics show, significantly more than Jack does, and it's working for him.
That's true, and he does do it consistently when we bet outside of the podcast, and there was a lot of outside of the podcast betting that went on over the weekend.
Yes.
Pete was religious with his fades and did quite well for himself in
Keep the
that
faith.
out of the podcast arena. But
It's
Pete,
not
please.
what I know. It's what Jerry picks and what I fade.
Well, wait a second. No. Again, taking out the 2 Jerry faded games last week, you would have gone 4-0.
That is true.
So there must have been some secret sauce last week.
You know what there is? I mean, the Chicago Bears and the
Bears.
Los Angeles Rams
Bears.
trending upward, and a couple other games came through. So very happy. SMU, they've got great alumni. They did quite well with that pick. I know, Jackie, I talked you into taking Miami, but very excited. It's a little bit of my picks, a little bit of Fade and Jerry. It's a nice little combination recipe.
I mean, it sounds like the dartboard just hit the bullseye for a change. Is that what happened?
Feeling good.
All right,
I'm not sure, but let's just keep rocking and rolling.
All right. And just a word on that SMU. I was all set to fade Jerry in his selection of Louisville last week. SMU went ahead and beat them by like 30 points or something.
It was disgusting. Yes.
And Pete, you know, after I made the pick, Pete made me change my selection in the hope for some competition relative to the podcast record. Well,
but there was tremendous wisdom on Jack's part last week in one of these picks that involved a man named Jameis Winston, right? That was,
I believe that is the case. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You rooted that out. You said, I'm going with the Giants. They're +10. Winston's going to throw 3 interceptions, but it's okay. And Jesus is going to tell them that they're going to win. And I'm taking, and holy shit, what happened there?
It's interesting. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So I'm going to save that.
All right.
But yeah, the Giants were one of my picks, as well as the Cowboys. I picked against my home squad, who will have a bounce back this week, by the way. But yeah, I made some nice picks last week, and I was proud of myself. But again, Rondo had the big week, and let's just go take a look at the overall record, since Rondo is gaining. Last week I was 4-2. My overall is now 43-34 for a .558 record, 55%. Pete last week 5-1. He's now 41-32-2, just a hair behind me at .546 or 54% of his wagers. And Jerry even made some headway last week, 3-3. Overall 31-45, hitting .407. And as I said last week, if he was a Major League Baseball player, he'd have a $300 million contract. Unfortunately,
I'm not.
He's just an amateur gambler like the rest of us. So with that said, Jerry, do we want to take a quick look at the spreadsheet just to get the star counts?
Sure, real quick. Because the star counts are what matter. Those statistics that you spit out of wins versus losses, that's not where the money is. The money is where the stars are, which is right here. And we'll go straight to the cumulative number of stars graph here, because there is one major component that has just jumped out, and that is the orange line has now exceeded the blue line. Mr. Peter, with a tremendous showing last week of 11 or 12 stars. What did he get? Let's look over here. Peter pulls down 11.65 stars last week to Jack's 6.11 stars.
Yep.
And that does allow the graph line to cross. Peter is now in the lead on cumulative number of stars. Congratulations, Mr. Peter.
No, thank
well
you,
done,
Jerry.
Pete. Fortune does favor the brave, and just kind of tells me that you're just more of a degenerate gambler than I am.
And then we have the consummate cumulative number of wins graphs, cumulative number of losses graphs, which seem to be similar. However, again, as Jack pointed out on the percentages, Pete's number is getting ever so close to Jack's number on cumulative number of wins as well.
I have to hand it to the kid.
So that's my report for the week.
Excellent, excellent. So, that all being said, we'll get right into the picks. And Jerry, why don't you lead us off with your college selection, sir?
Okay, let's start with my college picks for this week. So this is rivalry week.
All right, Elmer J. Fudd.
A rivalry week in college football, which makes for some interesting games. I was looking in the Big 12 because Big 12 what I pay attention to. And there's a very interesting development in the Big 12. So of interest in this development is one game with Arizona State and Arizona, and the other game with Texas Tech and West Virginia. The first one is Friday night, and that's Arizona State and Arizona. And the thing with this game is if Arizona State wins that game, then the Texas Tech game really matters. Texas Tech really has to come and play. But if Arizona wins that game, then Arizona State is out of the Big 12 championship and Texas Tech has it all locked up. So they really don't give a shit what happens in their West Virginia game on Saturday. So, of course, I would like to see, obviously, West Virginia can't get anywhere. So I just would like to see them beat Texas Tech, which is really, really not probably going to happen. But if Arizona beats Arizona State, then, maybe Texas Tech will lay down. With all that said, I'm looking at this Arizona State game, and Arizona State has to show up. Arizona State has everything to play for. Arizona State is trying to play their way into the Big 12 championship game, and I think they're going to pull that game out. It's going to be very close. So I've gone out and I'm taking even a point spread of plus 1.5 points for Arizona State because I think they're going to show up for that game and win it. So I'm taking Arizona State over Arizona with a 1.5 point spread at minus 105 odds for 4 stars on Friday night.
4 stars. Jerry meaning business.
First one.
All right. Game number 2, sir.
So game number 2, looking at all these other rivalries, what's going on, I pull up Ole Miss and Mississippi State, and I just don't see any way Mississippi State is going to do anything in this game. And the line on that is Ole Miss -7, which I am going to go with because Ole Miss, they're on a tear. They're a college football playoff contender. And they're going to play their way into the college football playoff by beating this in-state rival, Mississippi State. So I'm going Ole Miss, -7 points at minus 108 odds for 3 stars.
Jerry, you don't worry about the constant Lane Kiffin distraction talk?
Lane, someone's going to steal him. Who are they talking? LSU's looking at him, and
Florida, LSU. I think those are the 2 major contenders.
That's noise. That's noise. The team will play. Kiffin will coach, and it's just noise. Have you ever seen the guy? He's got all these amazingly beautiful women around him, and he's this big, flashy card guy, and it's like coaching hardly even matters to him, So he's getting this team. They're doing fine, but all this is noise. No, I'm not worried about that at all.
High scoring game, 62.5 is the over/under. Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Yes. High scoring game. Lots of scoring going on there.
All right, Jerry.
Rondo, you wanted me to go next? Is that correct?
Yeah, you go up, Jackie. I'm going to follow your suit because of last week's controversy with the SMU.
I
Miami
appreciate
game.
that. I appreciate that. So let's get this out of the way quickly. I'm taking Arizona. And I did actually look at this game, and I have to be honest, I did actually handicap it for Arizona State. But no, I'm going to fade Jerry here because I'm going with what works.
Total fade.
And especially he's poured his heart into some analysis. To me, that just means ruined. That means I'm gold here. Yes. Give me Arizona -1.5. Jerry went 4 stars. I can't. That's a little rich for me. But I'll go 3 stars.
What are the odds?
I'll tell you in a sec.
-110.
It's -110.
That's what I had. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Game number 2 for me. Jerry had talked about this as well. So I don't have a ton of analysis, but Texas Tech has been a bread and butter team for me this year as I've cashed 2 or 3 times with them for good reason. They lead the nation in ATS with a stunning 10-1 against the spread record. West Virginia's been on something of a nice little streak. They beat both Houston and Colorado before losing a very close game to Arizona State. Well,
should have
all
beat
3 of those
Arizona
teams kinda
State.
stink.
What's
that, Jer?
They should have beat Arizona State.
Yeah, and all 3 of those teams kind of stink. So I briefly flirted with thinking the Mountaineers might be the play in this game after looking at their schedule last year, and they got routed by Texas Tech.
Then you looked
But quite frankly,
but then
I
you looked
think,
at Texas Tech's defense.
well, that and they're against the spread record, and the fact that I'm kind of feeling like West Virginia would probably just want to go home and put this sort of a nightmare season to bed. Based on Texas Tech's amazing against the spread record and performance in these games where they just score points, I don't think West Virginia is going to be able to keep up with them. Give me the Red Raiders for -23.5 at -115 odds, and I'll do that for 3 stars, Jer.
You've got the combination here. You've got Arizona beating Arizona State, which will make Texas Tech lay down and not worry about this game. So
I think Texas Tech could put their backups in and win this game.
I think you're right. But by 23.5 points, we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe in the first half.
Probably the first half.
Yeah.
Have you
Rondo.
checked? Have you checked?
Yeah, I gotta switch it up a little bit with Jerry and Jack's influence here.
Hold on, Pete. Jerry, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wondered, Jack, have you checked the Texas Tech quarterback situation?
I have not. Is it not good?
Well, their starting quarterback hasn't played for 3 weeks. He's been wearing a boot all week. They keep saying, yeah, he might be back in. He's probably going to be back in, but we don't want to take him out of the boot. And his backup, number 2, tore his Achilles last week, so he's not available. So they're down to maybe number 1 with a boot or number 3.
Well, I'm glad you told me that because I might have to make a change, but I'll allow Rondo to go ahead here while I look at some other games that I like, and I will probably make a change. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that.
Let's talk about Ohio State, Michigan, gentlemen. What's happened with Ohio State, Michigan the last 3 years?
Well, Michigan always beats them when Ohio State's like this NFL team, but the only team they can't beat is fucking Michigan.
The last 3 years.
Well, I guess Ohio State won.
No, Michigan. You're right.
Okay.
My point is this. Ohio State, number 1 in the country. Statement game. I am doing something a little different, everybody. I'm going to do a 5-star wager, Ohio State, -5.5 first half for -110. They're going to come out swinging. They want to hurt Michigan. If they can't get pumped up in that first half without making any mistakes, I think they could be up by 21 points. Ohio State -5.5, -110 for 5 stars, gentlemen.
All right. Good luck, Peter.
But I'm going.
All right. Now you can go ahead and fade.
It's a fade move. Jack, thanks for doing the analysis with Arizona. I mean, the only thing I could say about Arizona beating Arizona State, who's the famous tight end that went to Arizona?
I don't know.
Gronkowski. So as a tribute to Jerry, during the game, I'm going to boil up some pierogies,
Awesome.
which is a nice little Polish appetizer in
I'm all
honor of
over
the victory. And I'll
all
take some
over
pictures of you
pierogies.
during the game. So going with the Arizona Wildcats, just going to go 2 stars, going small. I want to take a money line because I have something, a weird feeling that it could be a different point spread. So
It,
they could win by 1 point is my gut feeling. I don't know why I feel like this, but I just feel like
it's a very close point spread, so money line's good to go.
where it could hurt Jack and Jerry if they win by 1 point. So I really would like to stress or lay a little extra stars to take the Arizona Wildcats money line for 2 stars.
All right. What are the odds?
It is it's really small. It's only minus 122.
Very good.
It's basically an even. But that's all I have for college. So real simple. Ohio
right.
State, Arizona. Let's jump into NFL, gentlemen.
Oh no.
And a fade.
I've been reading about the Texas Tech quarterback as you were making your picks. And it sounds like they do expect him to play.
Right.
But to Jerry's point, if Arizona's going to win, obviously, because Jerry took Arizona State. So that Texas Tech game will become meaningless. So they might yank him from that game, which would put the spread in question. So I am going to change my pick.
This is the ultimate fade Jerry move. Actually, you're changing this means whatever you pick, you're going to lose because you've listened to me to allow me to change your mind.
Ooh. Yeah, well, the fact that you just said all that means I'm going to win. So, see what I did there, Rondo? Anyway, as far as major college conferences go, other than the carcass that is the Pac-10, the ACC is the most mediocre, to be kind. It seems like every time a team has a chance to distance themselves from the pack for the ACC lead, they lose. Well, this weekend, there are 2 ACC teams that can guarantee themselves berths in the ACC championship game with wins, those being Virginia and SMU. Virginia is playing Va Tech, and Va Tech put up a valiant fight against Miami last week, ultimately took the loss. And there's a bit of a rivalry there. I mean, they are rivals. So I'm going to lay off that game, and I'm going to take SMU, who beat the stuffing out of Louisville last week. I was going to fade Jerry and take them last week, but again, Rondo talked me out of it. I'm getting my own personal revenge this week with SMU, who's playing Cal, who stinks. They do have to travel to California. I don't like that part of it, but I do kind of like the line. It's not terrible. I'm going to take SMU minus 13.5, minus 108 odds for 2 stars, Jer.
All right. We're going to track how this compares to your WVU pick, Texas Tech pick.
We should.
Yes.
We should do that.
Indeed.
And if Cal somehow wins the game, I will quit the show.
They might cover the spread, but they won't. They're clearly not going to win the game. But you never know. Hey, you never know.
Now that you've said.
All right.
Anyway, on to the NFL. Jerry Bennett, please.
All right. So my first game, you know what I like to do. I like to get shit out there nice and early and get a big lead on you guys. So we're looking at this Green Bay Packers Detroit Lions game tomorrow afternoon. And you know, everybody, Detroit always plays on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Detroit Lions. What do they make that 8-legged turkey or something they used to do with Madden out there and all this shit? Everyone expects Detroit Lions to win this game. And if you go in and look at the money, 80% of the money is on Detroit. And I'm looking at this and something's not right here. Something's not right. I'm sorry. All this betting on Detroit. I'm taking Green Bay. So I'm going Packers because I think the system is rigged, and I just read this story about the NFL is scripted and all this shit. So I'm going to go with the Packers and the scripting. And I'm taking money line. The Packers are going to beat the Lions tomorrow afternoon in a crazy Thanksgiving, just unexpected massacre. Odds are
Okay.
plus 124. So I'm going 3 stars. Packers money line plus 124.
All right. Very good. As an aside, no one loves a conspiracy more than Jerry.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
this fits right in with his persona.
That's right.
How about game 2, pal?
So game 2, we go back to my roots in the AFC North, and I think the Ravens and the Bengals game. Ravens are kind of back, and the Bengals had their flash with Flacco coming in, and he flashed the first week and second, but I think they're kind of done. Yeah, they got a defense, but Lamar has gotten warmed up again. So I'm going Ravens over the Bengals. Point spread -7 points at -110 odds for 3 stars.
Breaking Pete's heart over there, Jerry.
I know. I knew that was going to happen. I heard him comment with it. Sorry.
Not happy.
So, there's the fade.
28th Amendment strikes again.
That's right. So game 3, I have been fortunate the last few weeks with the Atlanta Falcons. And they're playing, of course, the magnificent New York Jets this week. And for some reason, the point spread is only 2.5 points, which is a little fishy to me, but I'm going to roll with that. I'm taking the Falcons. Point spread -2.5 points at -118 odds over the Jets this is my 4-star game.
Kirk Cousins.
Yes, Kirk Cousins. He's been hanging in there, he's making a good showing.
All right.
Old Penis or Penix, whatever he is, had his time, and Cousins came in as the old pro he is and stepped up. So I think
Interesting.
I think we'll see some Falcons winning in that game.
That's all. Very good. Let's move on. I will now give you my selections.
All right.
All right.
On to Jack.
Yes, here we go. The Thursday home team always has an advantage. It's tough for the visitors to adequately prepare for their opponent, given the short week, small windows to properly design schemes, practice, etc. But not this week in the Dallas game. Andy Reid is one of the best planners in the history of the league. Should be able to cook something up for Dallas's crappy defense pretty quickly. Chiefs had a great comeback win last week, and it normally might be tough for them to match that emotion, especially in a non-conference game. But this is a Thanksgiving game on a big stage in Jerry World, and that big stage is where normally where Pat Mahomes plays his best. I think they'll be up for this game. The other side, that team, those Cowboys, they're going to have trouble matching the emotion they needed last week to win their Super Bowl against the Eagles. And they did
Sounds
it in
like
dramatic
someone's
fashion.
A little sour that they beat the Eagles, but go on.
No. Listen, I picked against the Eagles.
He called it.
That's right. Listen, you play a big game like that,
about it.
It's going to be tough for you to get back up, and that's what I'm predicting here. This game might be close for a while. I see the Cowboys giving a good effort early, but if they go down and the Chiefs start scoring points, I think they might outright smoke them. So give me the Chiefs.
I like it.
Yep, give me the Chiefs minus 3.5 points, minus 105 odds for 3 stars, Jer.
All right.
All right. I'm going to text you guys in a minute. I've already locked in a bet this week. The line that I can't understand this week is the Colts at home giving 4.5 to the Texans. The public is predictably pounding the Texans, who are coming off their mini bye after that big Thursday night win against the Bills. Texans' point differential sort of tells the story as they beat the Bills by 4, they beat the Titans by 3, they beat the Jags by 7, they lost to the Broncos by 3, and they beat the 49ers by 9. You have to go back to October 20th to find a game that the Texans lost by more than 4.5. So why is this line so high? The answer is the Colts tend to score points in bunches on their home field. In 6 games this year, they've scored 33, 29, 40, 31, 38, and 31 points. Texans have a great defense, but how are they going to slow that juggernaut down?
No.
I don't think they are. And on the road, the Texans have scored 26, 9, 10, 44, 19, and 16. Quite the mix. They might get CJ Stroud back, but still, Colts at home, I think they're going to score a lot of points. As I mentioned, I've already locked this bet in. Give me the Colts minus 2.5 in the first half, Jar. And that's going to be for 4 stars, minus 122.
All right.
All righty. And my third bet.
You said 4 stars?
I said 4 stars.
That's a lot of stars. That's good.
Colts minus 2.5 first half.
Wow.
Minus 122.
Can I take that bet too?
I don't see why not. I mean, you're only going to help me. All right, here we go. The Lions and Jared Goff
Here we
are
go.
taking a lot of heat for being overrated. And truth be told, they kind of are. Another season of suffering a litany of injuries and a major defection on the offensive line when Frank Ragnow retired definitely took a toll on that team. Yeah, they lost to the Eagles, who are better. They survived a scare versus the Giants, but they were clearly looking ahead to this Thanksgiving tilt with their rival Packers. And a win puts them in second place in the division. And the Bears have a game on Friday with those Eagles, and the Eagles are 7-point favorites, which that line is a little fishy. Now, if you want to talk overrated, let me introduce you to the poster boy of overrated, one Mr. Jordan Love. At the end of 2023, Love was one of the best quarterbacks in football, rode a hot streak, and had a lot of talking of heads anointing him as a top quarterback talent. The reality is something else. The Packers win games because of their defense. They win when they successfully run the ball. When they have to rely on Jordan Love to bail them out or bring them back in the fourth quarter, it rarely happens. What does happen is Love putting the ball in harm's way, as he has an alarming penchant for daring throws into coverage. And take a look at the Packers' road record. Survived a scare against the Giants, survived a scare against the Cardinals, tied the Cowboys, lost to the Browns. This is also a revenge game for the Lions, who took a 14-point beating in Green Bay. Boys, Jerry betting the Packers only helps me here, and it all adds up to a Lions win. I'm going to take the Lions minus 2.5 for 3 stars, and that is minus 120, Jer.
I would like to point out a comment that Jack made. Maybe it was before we pressed record, but you said something about, Pete just fading Jerry, but rattling off all this hogwash shit about the Steelers and why they should win and all. You just did exactly the same thing.
Yes, I did. I hope you enjoyed it.
God, 3 stars?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Lock.
We'll see.
Mr. Rondoni.
So I'm going to take
so you're going with the entire betting public on that game,
Hey, public wins sometimes.
All right.
Especially when you fade them.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's get into the fading. Let's just keep it short, sweet, and concise. Bengals plus 7. Cincinnati Bengals plus 7 for 3 stars, minus 110. Do I want to do it? Do I want to jump aboard the Ravens and Lamar and the horse running back? Yes, I want to jump aboard the Ravens. But Jerry, the power that you have, Ravens win by a field goal, Bengals cover. the power of the B effect. Take the Cincinnati Bengals.
Can I make a quick comment? Jerry, you gave me some insight about the Texas Tech quarterback, so I feel I owe you this. You know Joe Burrow's playing in this game, right?
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah.
How long has it been since Joe Burrow has played?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
In fairness, like second game of the year, I think he was out or something like that.
Backdoor cover.
Interesting.
But to Pete's point, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I still have the option to change, which you've clearly set the precedent for that.
Of course.
You
graced me with a change.
That triggers everything. Then you're a catalyst for other things that happen. That's not fair. Let's keep it.
OFJ controversy.
Hey, it's the law. You know, you go to court. They look at the prior court cases, precedents that were set.
Right, but if you're going to execute,
we had a precedent.
I disagree. If you're going to make a decision, then you want to pivot or you want to make a different decision. I don't agree with this.
Let's get a timeout here. First of all, we have not hit stop to formally put this episode in the books. So I think Jerry's well within his right to make a switch here based on this information that has come to light.
Okay, Jerry, I'll beg you this. Are you going to make a switch?
So I guess if I would make a switch, then Pete would be allowed to make a switch too. So
of course, yeah.
Switch and not switch. No, I'm going to stay the same. I'm going to stay with the Ravens.
Okay. Thank you.
It will only inspire Lamar more to beat Joe Burrow.
All right, pretty boy Joe Burrow's +7, 3 stars, -110. Let's move on to the second game. Got to take my Chicago Bears. +7. I know they're going into Philly, hostile territory, but I love what the Bears are doing this year. They're -108. I'm just going to take them for 2 stars. I do believe the Eagles are probably going to pull off a victory, but they win by a field goal, break the Bears' hearts. But I do think 7 points is an awful lot. So I love taking the Bears for 2 stars, -108. Going to leave it at that.
Can I comment on this game real quick? Just one quick comment. Bears have no starting linebackers in this game. That's all I'll say.
All right. The analytic work is appreciated. Third game, going to take the New York Jets. But if I can buy it up to +3, I'd appreciate it. Another fade Jerry move.
Well, you have to check DraftKings. I don't think you can buy a half point on DraftKings. So if you're coming with an alternate spread, you need to go into DraftKings, figure out what that alternate spread is,
and what the odds
and make that your wager.
Okay, well, just do
it. If you want to do that,
we'll
wait.
That's fine. +2.5 the Jets for -102 for 2 stars.
Don't think just fade. A wise man once told me that.
Yeah, so it's not like you know something, I know something. It's working. And Jerry, you're probably going to go 2 and 4, so why wouldn't I fade you on 4 games? Who am I?
What are the odds? +2.5 points at what? -110?
-102.
102.
The Jets -102.
All right. Doesn't surprise me, Jared. They're the Jets.
I think we're in the bonus round here, gentlemen.
Three
indeed.
3 stars on the Jets, Pete. 2 stars on the Jets. All right. Bonus round.
Jerry, time for bonus picks.
So I've not revealed a parlay yet this week, right? So
we've noticed.
It's parlay time. And
here we go.
And here we go. It's I'm going to have to apologize to all my West Virginia faithful here. But I'm going to have to bet on Pitt. So Pitt's playing Miami. Miami's coming into, whatever the fuck the name of the Pittsburgh Stadium is this year.
I think it's the Armpit.
The Armpit. No, they play at the same place the Steelers play now.
Oh.
They tore down the Pitt Stadium because it sucks so bad. So Miami's coming in to play in Steelerville, in the Steelers Stadium, and Pitt is an underdog by 7 points. And Pitt looked really, I can't remember who they played last week, but I was really impressed. I watched the game. I was impressed with their offense and their defense were standing out. I can't remember who it was. It was a fairly well-ranked team. So I'm going with Pitt over Miami plus 7 points in a parlay with the over, which is over 49.5. I think there's going to be a shootout there, and I get plus 252 on the odds of this parlay. So let's put 3 stars on that. So if I win that, I'll get up there around 7.3 stars out of this one. So summarize: Pitt over Miami plus 7 points, parlay with the over of 49.5 for 3 stars at 252 odds.
Good luck, sir. All right. I will now make my bonus selection. Last week, I bet the Giants with the expectation that Jackson Dart would play. He didn't, and the team still covered behind some inspired play from one Jameis Winston. Dart was a full participant at practice today, putting him in line for a return Sunday. But regardless of his return, both he and Winston, through their play on the field, have inspired their teammates to produce the kind of effort we haven't seen out of the Giants in a couple of years. Now they're going to get to take that effort onto a national stage, and they're going to want to put their best foot forward. This is either a Sunday night or a Monday night game. On the other side of the field, the Pats have just come off a closer than necessary win against the Bengals, who were in save our season mode. And now they have a huge look ahead next week when they'll have a chance to kick dirt on the corpse of the Bills, who are 2.5 games behind them in the AFC East. How are the Pats going to be up to play a lowly non-conference opponent like the Giants that are inspired to play behind their young rookie quarterback who knows how to put points on the board? Yes, they need the win to maintain their lead for the number 1 seed in the AFC, but let's not forget, this Pats team is a young team who the very thought of making the playoffs last year would have been a dream. So I see the Giants leaving it on the field in another close game. Give me the Giants plus 7.5 for 3 stars, Jar, and that is minus 115.
It's plus 7.5 they're getting on that. Wow.
Yep, 7.5.
For 3 stars?
3 stars, sir.
Wow. All right. Come on.
So I'm taking the under, gentlemen, with the Packers and the Lions. I think this year, watching the Packers and Lions, I've seen sloppy play by both the Lions and the Packers. 48.5, I think, on Thanksgiving Day, early morning game. I think it's going to be a sloppy game, some turnovers. I really feel like that's an easy 3 stars under 48.5 for minus 110. I just think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. Have you guys, Packers and Lions just have not been playing well, not much symmetry. I just see a low-scoring game, so I think that's an easy one.
All right.
Easy peasy.
Under. So the Packers are going to beat the Lions by less than 5 points or something like that and go under 4. Okay. Packers win.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll be watching that game. We're all on that game.
Tomorrow is one of the greatest football days of the year.
Yes.
I hope you both enjoy it with your families. Happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise.
To all the listeners as well. Enjoy your turkey. Enjoy your football. And as always,
gobble, gobble.
hey, Jerry.
Gobble, gobble.